The news soon spread about Molly, and the engines felt very sorry for her. Gordon was especially upset. Soon, Molly's time on Solar was coming to an end. "She'll be leaving with her train tomorrow," sighed Henry. "And after that, she'll be homeless," finished Gordon quietly. "After her incident with those vans," said James, "I'm not sure any other railway would want to take her on. They'll probably think she's too clumsy or reckless." "Well, we know better," puffed Gordon. He thought long and hard about what he could do to help. Then he had an idea. "Of course," he said to himself. "Why didn't I think of that before? I hope he agrees to it, though." As he puffed towards the station, that pain he felt earlier in the week came back to him. As he backed onto his train, he saw the Fat Controller on the platform. "Hello, Gordon," he said. "Is something the matter?" "Well, sir," Gordon said, "it's about Molly." "Ah, yes. I've yet to see her about that mess with the vans. Can't say I'm too impressed." "It's not that, sir," Gordon protested. "It's something else." And he told him about what the owner had said. The Fat Controller listened carefully. "I see," he said. "That is concerning indeed." He looked closely at Gordon. "Do you have a suggestion to solve this situation?" "Well, that's why I wanted to see you, sir. I know Molly hasn't made the best first impression, but I'm sure you understand that, when given a fair chance, engines are more than capable of proving they can be really useful. I know it's bold to ask for such a thing, but I was wondering if you could." "That will do, Gordon," chuckled the Fat Controller. "I think I know what you want to say. I'll have to speak with Molly's owner first, though. It is ultimately his decision." Just then the guard blew his whistle, and Gordon had to go. "Oh, thank you, sir," he said happily, as he began to depart. But just as the first coach left the platform, there was a loud clanking sound. "What happened?" he cried. "Something inside you just broke," called his driver. "Oh, now you really will need to go to the works." "Oh, bother!" The Fat Controller called the sheds, then walked up to the crew. "Molly is the only engine available, so she will take the express." Gordon had been moved onto a siding as Molly arrived. She looked very nervous. "I know this is on short notice," said the Fat Controller, "but I need you on the express for the rest of the day. Can you do it?" Molly looked back at the train. She knew she was strong enough, but she didn't want to make another mistake. Then she remembered what Edward said about the hill. "Yes, sir," she said at last. "Although, can I have some help for the hill, please? I don't want to possibly get stuck on it." "Certainly," replied the Fat Controller. "I'll see to it that there's a banker waiting for you." He hurried into his office as the guard's whistle blew once again, and Molly steamed away. Gordon watched her proudly. Molly was enjoying herself. She thundered through stations and across the countryside. Soon she arrived at Edward's station, and the Blue Engine himself was waiting for her. He buffered up behind, and the train continued to Gordon's Hill. It was hard work, even with Edward's help, but the two engines struggled on. Come on, puffed Molly. "We'll do it, we'll do it. called Edward. At last they reached the top, and Molly hurried down the other side. "Thank you, Edward," she shouted back. Molly arrived at the final station. The passengers were most impressed and made sure to thank her. For the rest of the day, Molly went back and forth across the island with the express. She was happy to be helpful, but was still worried about what would happen tomorrow. Later that evening, she found the other engines waiting for her in the sheds. "Well done, Molly," smiled Edward. "You should be very proud of yourself." "Indeed," said a voice. The engines looked to see the Fat Controller and Molly's owner walk up to them. "Your performance on the express today has been wonderful. Furthermore, I have some very good news for you." Molly looked with curiosity, but it was her owner who spoke next. "As you know, I've been trying to find another railway for us, and I've had little luck. However, earlier today, Sir Topham Hatt came to me, and he suggested that you could stay here and be a part of his railway." Molly gasped. Me? Stay here?" "It was Gordon who presented the idea," said the Fat Controller, "and after today I would be more than happy to have you a part of my railway. Your owner thinks so too." Molly felt like she was going to cry. I would love to, sir. Thank you so much." "Then it's settled. Once you've taken the tour back to the mainland, you will return here." The engines whistled and cheered. Molly brought the rail tour back to the mainland, and soon she began working on the Fat Controller's railway. Gordon was repaired, and the two engines were firm friends. Molly was versatile and could handle any train given to her. She still has lots to learn, but she didn't mind. All that mattered was she was happy. Happy to have many great friends and a new home on the island of Sodor.